Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'm bringing you a tutorial on this super cute, perfect for summer skirt. Now this video was inspired by a post that I saw on Pinterest, which I'll have on the screen. But before I begin, materials are listed on screen and the yarn links are in the description box as always. Now without any further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. So to begin our skirt, we're going to start off by making the ribbing. So you're going to take your yarn and make a slip knot. And you're going to start by chaining 10. Now once you've chained your 10, you're going to go into the second stitch from your hook. So I'm just zooming in here. You're going to go into the second stitch from your hook, which is this one, and you're going to want to get 2 loops on your hook like this. So you have 3 in total, and pull your yarn through and then just single crochet. And we're going to do this all the way down, so you're just going to insert your hook through both the loops of the stitch and single crochet all the way down. So here I'm going to place my last single crochet. So insert your hook through 2 loops, pull your yarn through and pull through 2. Now to finish and start off every row, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And now from here on, we are going to be doing back loop single crochets. So insert your hook through 1 loop only. This is the back loop, and you're going to pull your yarn through and single crochet. And you're going to do this all the way down the row. So here I'm placing my last single crochet, and then chain 1 as usual, turn your work, and we're going to repeat everything we just did for the measurement of your waist. So I took a measuring tape and I measured my waist, or you can measure just beneath it, and I did this for 23 inches, but again this is very personal to you. I'm an extra small for reference, so yeah, I'll see you back. So here are my 23 inches, just for reference. So now we're going to be attaching our 2 ends. Make sure you chain 1 at the end of your final row. Now we're going to line up our ends. And place our hook through that first stitch right here, picking up 2 loops on your hook. Now bring up your other end and insert your hook through the same stitch on the other side. Now for this entire side I was only able to get 1 loop on my hook, which is perfectly fine, it makes no difference. And then you're just going to pull your yarn through all loops and slip stitch. So this is what we're going to do all the way up until the end, up until the second to last stitch. So leave the last stitch and we'll do that together. So for the last stitch, you're going to insert your hook, picking up 2 on the first side and then 1 on the other. And here we are going to change colors for the first time. So I'm changing colors to green. So now you're just going to drape your new color over your hook, like so, and pull the yarn through all of the loops on your hook, including the last one. And this is what you should have so far. Your new color is attached, and you can now just cut off your ribbing color. So I'm just cutting off my white yarn. And this is what you should have so far. The seam is almost unnoticeable, which I really like. Now to begin our first row, you're going to start by chaining 1. And then right here, into that space right there, you're going to be placing a single crochet. Now in all of these little spaces, as you can see, you're just going to be placing single crochets. And it might be a bit difficult to distinguish where to place your single crochets because they're not really stitches, but those little holes right there, you're just going to place single crochets into them all the way around up until you reach where you started. So here I have a one last single crochet to place, but this is what your work should look like now. We've formed stitches to place our double crochets into. So now I'm just completing my last single crochet. And this is what you should have. So now at the top of the first single crochet that we made, you're going to insert your hook, pull your yarn through and slip stitch, like so. And now you're going to chain 3, wrap your yarn around your hook, and into that stitch right there, into the next stitch, you're going to be placing a double crochet. And you'll be placing double crochets all the way around for our first row. So into that next stitch as well. And I'll meet you back once I've placed all of my green double crochets for the first row. I've reached the end and I'm now placing my final double crochet. Now you're going to count 3 chains from the bottom and insert your hook into that top third chain. And here is where we are going to have our second colour change. Here I'm taking my pink yarn and I am draping it over my hook as we did before. And I'm just pulling it through all of the loops on my hook, all 2. And here you can just cut off your yarn, your previous yarn. And now, same as we did for the first row, we're going to chain 3 and be placing double crochets all the way around. So wrap your yarn around your hook and insert your hook into that stitch right there and place a double crochet. You're going to do this all the way around and I'll meet you back once I've done my second row. I've reached the end of my second row of double crochets and I'm now placing my last double crochet. And now, once again, as before, you're going to count 3 chains from the bottom and insert your hook into the top third chain. And once again, we are going to have a color change. As you can probably guess, there are going to be a lot of color changes within this skirt, but it's definitely worth it. I really like the outcome. So just drape your new color over your hook and pull through all of the loops on your hook. And now I'm just going to cut off my pink yarn. Now for our third row of double crochets, you're going to chain 3 and just double crochet normally as you have been doing for the previous rows. After this row, once we change colors, we are going to be having increases for essentially the rest of the pattern, but I will explain in more detail. I'm just giving a heads up so you don't go crazy and continue without me. But yeah, continue double crocheting and I'll meet you back. So now I'm placing my last double crochet and we're going to end off as normal, count 3 up, insert your hook into the 3rd chain, and here comes a color change. So I'm just taking my green yarn, draping it over as normal and pulling it through all loops. So chain your 3, but before we start double crocheting, just cut off your previous yarn color. And this is what you should have so far. So from that point where we just chained 3, I counted 22 stitches and then placed a stitch marker. However, bearing in mind I am a size extra small, so if you are going up in a size, definitely do lay this down flat on the table and insert your stitch marker where the sides are, because that's where we are going to be needing to increase to fit our hips. Also, this is just one of those projects that I recommend you try on as you go, just to make sure that it fits you as you like. But yeah, I'm just counting my 22 stitches and I'm placing my stitch marker. With your stitch markers placed, we can now move on to row 4 of the double crochets. So you are going to normally double crochet up until you reach the 1st stitch marker on the left. So placing a normal double crochet, going through both loops, pull your yarn through, and just continue normally double crocheting. So here I've reached the stitch marker with 1 double crochet left to place. So just place your last double crochet normally. And now you can remove your stitch marker. And into that stitch right there, you're going to place 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochets into that singular stitch. So 1 more in that same stitch. And you're going to continue normal double crocheting up until you reach the 2nd stitch marker, all the way over there. So normal double crochets up until you reach that stitch marker. Now, once you reach your 2nd stitch marker, this is what your work should look like. And I'm just placing my last double crochet. And now, once again, you can remove your stitch marker. And into that space, we're going to be placing 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochets into that singular space. And then afterwards, just continue normal double crocheting up until you reach the end. Now, once you reach the end, you're going to insert your hook through that top 3rd chain as usual. And grab your new color yarn, drape it over your hook, and pull it through all of the loops on your hook. And chain 3. Now you're going to grab your stitch marker and find the stitch where we placed 2 double crochets into, and you're going to insert your stitch marker over top of that stitch, and you're going to do this for the other side as well, because from now on we are going to be increasing, and I'll let you know for how long. So here I found the second stitch where we placed our 2 double crochets. Just insert your stitch marker. And now, as we did before, if you need to, you can rewatch that part, but you are just going to normally double crochet until you reach the first stitch marker, place your 2 double crochets, and normally double crochet until the second stitch marker. It's quite easy to get the hang of, which is why I really like this pattern. So excluding the first 4 rows that we did together, I did 20 more rows of double crochet increases, which equals to about 8 inches, and that was perfect for me. You can do as many or as little as you want. And my entire skirt from the center upwards was 11 inches. So here I added on another inch to my skirt. Now, in the last clip, the entire skirt, apart from the first 3 rows, were increases, but I added on 3 rows of just regular double crochets, no increases, as you can see I'm showing you here. So all the previous rows were increases, and then the last 3 are just normal double crochets, so that it kind of tapers to your legs more, to your thighs. But yeah, that's really the skirt. As you can see, there is a bit of a seam, but when you wear it, it's not that noticeable. And that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was easy enough for you to follow along too. If you have any questions, please do comment them below or message me on Instagram. And if you do make anything from my channel, send it to me on Instagram. I love seeing it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.